Hey everyone, hey, let's mix this up. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. All right, oh my God, the run course. We got our Rebel hat on. Now we're thinking about the Lake Placid run course. The course for the run in Lake Placid is one of those things where people talk about the bike, but they leave talking about the run. The run course takes no prisoners, and I don't mean that in like a terrifying way, but I mean that there's no free ride. Anytime you feel good on the Lake Placid course, it's only because there's some work coming right away. And the work essentially is, if you sort of micro it out, it's net downhill on the way out, and then it's a lot more uphill on the way back. In fact, with the way the out and backs work now on the new structure of the course, it's like 5 miles of free and then 7 miles of work. So it's sort of like the scales have tipped in the favor of the race and the house and less in the favor of yourself. So how do we manage that? Well, number one, when we think about racing in Lake Placid, it's really important that you're very controlled on those first 5 miles out. It's tempting to run super fast. But your objective here at the start of the run is to be gut checking where you are nutritionally and on the bike, making sure that you're getting in core nutrition right now. That first hour is pretty much the last time you're going to be able to eat on the run and still run. And I mean by like run at your goal speed. If your run speed is zone 1 or zone 1 plus a couple minutes of walking every single mile, then you can continue to eat a little bit longer, and you'll need to because you're going to be out there 5+ hours. But for folks who are looking to go 4 hours or faster, that first hour really is a key differential for you. And regardless of where you are, the first hour is going to be your hottest hour of the day on the run. And so managing those expectations, keeping your core body temperature down, all of those decisions all have to happen in that first 5 miles. Okay. But on coming on the way back, what does it mean? Like when you start coming back, we have all of these incremental climbs, ski jump hill. We've got Lisa G's hill coming back into town. We got to take a right this time instead of a left. We got to go up on the golf course, the old out and back on the bike course. That's like a down and an up both ways. You're going to have up on both ways. And you come back into town, at least we've broken up the climb from Lisa G's to all the way out by the lake. But there's a little bit of extra climbing in there, right? Because you had to climb up on the way out, you had to climb back up on the way in. So in a way, it's actually net more climbing. So it's not the same sustained climb, but it's net more climbing till you get out there. And in fact, you'll be so close to town, you got to turn away to go out to the golf course and come back. So mile out, mile back, 2 miles, right? 20 minutes. And then you're going to run in by the turnaround, and you got to go out a mile along the lake. And as a result, you got extra time there. So it's one of those situations where I think it's going to be a lot more mentally tougher. And for those of you who have planned accordingly, understand the parameters of the run, you'll actually do really well. But just for, want to be full disclosure, I think this run course actually makes it, like, I would say 10% harder relative to where it was before. All right, so let's dive into what it looks like. Here we are inside the map. To give you some benchmarks of sort of where we are, this section here is the bike course heading out, and this section here is the bike course coming back in again. And so the run course starts off the same. You're going to head out of the oval here. You're going to run down Main Street, take a right, and run down past Lisa G's. That's all of this, serious net downhill section we go through here at this. You've got a couple bumps on the way out. I know I said it was all downhill. And then you got a big downhill here by the ski jump hill. There we go. Big downhill here by the ski jump hill, and that's where you take that left-hand turn out on River Road, okay? This time around, though, you're going from like mile 2.5. Where are we here? Where are we? Where are we? There we are. Yeah, just under 2.5 miles to the bottom of ski jump hill. We're only going to kind of double that, right? We're going to go out to mile 5 and change out here before we turn around. Which is actually kind of fast. In fact, it's actually 4 and change. So really, you're really only running out on River Road, not very far at all. Okay, you've got like the flat section here, the sweeping turn, the little bump up here. You've got like a little bit of a drop down, and then you turn on and come back. So typically this would be 3 times as many bumps and humps inside the section before you turn around. River Road is my favorite road to run on. Rolling, the river's to your left. It's really nice. Everything's great. In this case, you're turning right around. And so for those of you who are in the know, roughly the turnaround, and obviously race day will tell the truth. Let's pull up the map here. Right before Strathmore Way-ish. Where does that get us? Here we are. So we're sort of at this little newly manicured lawn. It's relatively new than in past years. You've just come around the turn here. There's actually like a little street up here. I think they've the street's up top there. So you got some homes inside here, and you're just kind of coming down. It's usually sort of an aid station set up in here, and there'll be a turnaround section for you right in here. And then that's really it. There's Strathmore Way. So way, way early on River Road relative to what we had before. Right? But what happens then? Well, you turn around and you start coming back. So what that means is, with the rolling section shortened, you're going to turn around and come back up ski jump hill sooner. So normally you'd have, say, another 2 miles out here, or another 1.5 miles. A mile and a half out, mile and a half back, 3 miles. So, let's call that 30 minutes for the average bear. You have 30 more minutes before you got to climb this hill again. In this case, you don't. Like, you're climbing this hill at 7.5. We're going to be closer to like mile 10. So really, you're just kind of feeling it right away. So you get back into the hills sooner. Let's zoom out here just so we see. All right, so we come back on these hills sooner. Follow the, little click happy there. So we're going to follow the yellow dot. We do the ski jump hill. We enjoy a little bit of downhill. It doesn't feel like it, but know that it is downhill until we get to Lisa G's. Now we climb up Lisa G's. This is the section I want to really focus in on here. We're going to come in this section here. We're going to climb up Lisa G's. We're going to take this right. And this is where it starts to put us out along the side here. And this is what I mean. You're going to kind of get to the top here by Lisa G's. You're going to dip down. You can do a little bit of a dip. And then you do this whole climb out up to the turn there, right? Then you're going to flip it. You're going to have this longer descent down, and then you're going to have this climb back up again before you go. So yes, in a way, you've got a break in here, because essentially before, if I can get this right, hold on, go away numbers. Actually, can I draw on this bad boy? I think I can. Awesome. So before, you would basically be coming from here, and you would be picking it up right here. So everything in between these two is new. And the new section for you is this climb up and this descent down. And this climb up here essentially ends up being, let's just zoom in on this bad boy so we can see. How long is that climb? Let's take a look at it. Oh, that is not the climb. Let me one. Zoom in on this bad boy. Let's do the whole section here. So just at the top, we're going to go out and we're going to come right back to there. That whole section there is 1.5 miles. So 1/8 of a mile. And you've got this, decent climb up, 2 to 3% climb up, and then down again with the bump at the end. And then that bump, you get over it, you dip down to Lisa G's, not Lisa G, you dip down to the intersection, you got to climb up the other side. So as a result, you'll kind of come back in this section here, and then you got to start to climb up and go all the way around the lake. This is sort of like a boon, I think, in a way for spectators, because they can kind of like see you here at mile 10, and then they can run across the top here and see you at this turnaround again if they want to, like yay. And obviously if people are cheering on the bike course, they'd be able to see some of the slower bikers and some of the faster runners, and this kind of becomes sort of like a mini hot corner relative to this normal hot corner inside town. But for me, the real rub on this course is, as you see, here's the sort of downhill section. We get our little rolling, and then we get our uphill section back to halfway. And in my mind, the back half of this run course on both sides is just weighted on the hill. So again, being really smart in that first hour makes a difference. I would want to make sure that I had good calories and caffeine that I could rely on inside here. And I would be simultaneously like mentally tough on myself to like run a little bit more than I think I can, but also when I really hit the limits that are the red flags for me, like my heart rate or my RPEs through the roof or whatever it is, that I give myself grace to actually take a couple steps, and I count those out, 30 steps before I tried getting. I think the real challenge here ends up being that people put themselves in a bad place, and you end up being like really desperate where you are. Yikes! I don't know what just happened there with my computer. But there you go. Hold on. Where is it? Here we are. I think you really end up in a bad place because you're just not giving yourself the permission to keep going, and we run into a wall and we say like, well, that's it. As the map here shows you, as much as you have up, you've also got downs. It's easy to fall into a rut and just play damage control. But I believe that most people can actually go further for longer than they think, and it's important to kind of play that mental game here. But you're going to have to be prepared from your training to be able to do this type of running, power walking up hills, staying on top of the nutrition, and making really tough personal choices to stay on track as you're trying to complete this run. All right? Best of luck with the training, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate, reach out, let me know.